He tossed the keys at me in front of everyone, expecting me to bend. I didn't pick them up.
The moment he tossed the keys at me, the room went quiet. Not silent, but the kind of quiet where everyone suddenly pretends not to look. The metal clink echoed off the marble floor, and I felt a dozen eyes waiting to see what I would do next. My wife's brother smiled like he had already won. He was wearing a tailored suit, an expensive watch, and the kind of confidence that comes from someone who thinks money has rewritten all the rules. He said my name slowly, then told me to hurry up because he was late. I looked down at the keys on the floor, then I looked back at him. I didn't bend. I didn't react. I simply asked him to repeat what he had just said. He laughed, a short, ugly sound. He said I worked for the family now, didn't I? That, since his sister was the real earner, I should know my place. I glanced at my wife, standing right beside him. Her arms were crossed, her expression unreadable. She wasn't defending me, but she wasn't surprised either. That's when I understood something with perfect clarity. This wasn't about the car. It never was. It was about how small they thought I was. Instead of moving forward, I took a step back. The keys stayed exactly where they were, gleaming on the polished floor. I told him calmly that if he wanted his car parked, he could do it himself. His smile vanished instantly. His face tightened, and his voice rose as he reminded me who owned most of the shares now, who had influence, who could make things incredibly difficult for me. I nodded slowly, like a student listening to a lecture he had already passed. What he didn't know, what they had all conveniently forgotten, log systems, systems that noticed things. That night I didn't argue with my wife. I didn't bring up the humiliation. I just went into my study and opened files I hadn't looked at in months. Expense reports, transfers, vendor payments, patterns started appearing almost immediately. By morning I had copies of everything, inflated invoices, lavish personal purchases labeled as business costs, money moving where it shouldn't. All of it signed off with a brazen confidence, assuming no one would ever have the nerve to question it. The next board meeting started like any other. Handshakes, smiles, the clinking of coffee cups. Then I asked for 10 minutes on the agenda. My wife's brother smirked, already looking bored. I connected my laptop to the screen and began. I spoke calmly with no accusations in my voice. Just data, dates, amounts, digital signatures. The atmosphere in the room changed slowly, one face at a time. The confident smiles faded into looks of concern, then shock. When the questions started flying, he panicked. He talked too fast, his answers tripping over each other. He contradicted himself. He looked at his sister for help, but she had none to give. By the end of the meeting, his position was suspended, pending a full investigation. The car keys that once hit the floor now sat uselessly in his pocket. After everyone else left, the board asked me to stay behind. Later that evening, my wife finally spoke to me. She asked why I hadn't told her what I knew. I looked at her and asked when she had stopped seeing me as her husband and started seeing me as someone disposable. She didn't have an answer. The divorce was quiet, no drama, no fighting. Just signatures and distance. She kept her pride. I kept my peace. Months later, I ran into her brother at a small cafe. No suit, no fancy car, no confidence. He wouldn't even meet my eyes. I paid for my coffee and left without saying a word. I never picked up the keys. I never had to. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more.